So what you're saying, I think, is good, but I think it starts to become a whole way of life.
Another addiction. So.
It becomes another addiction, another, live food kind of slightly imbalanced way, although it has many good purposes if it's used just as a transition, which is what you're saying.
I have one more question on this line.
Yeah.
So when you're blending food and you're creating oxygen in there, does that create a free radical?
Yeah, no. When you're blending food, you're creating free radicals, yes. So, in a sense, we have designed, because we want to acknowledge that the concept, which has been around for a while, of this juice feasting, we've developed a simple program here, really simple, which is how does one work and do this and not really be fasting? Because when you're fasting, it's easy to get a little spacey. And basically what we have developed is a idea of getting a whole person healing, so you get all the herbs, everything you need, which is really a good approach, and do primarily juices, which is relatively simple, and just take your superfoods and the herbs you need, and that's a pretty simple way that keeps you grounded, and at the same time you lose weight a little faster. It's not like a fast, but it still is supportive with that whole thing, and it keeps you, I think, moving faster, but very specifically on target. So those are just some ideas that we've been developing here. The truth is, the juice feasting concept's been around for quite a while, and everybody seems to have a different variation. So we're just kind of doing our own variation here, which is it's far less work intensive, labor intensive than the other approaches, and far more specific. So not everybody needs liver cleanser. Not everybody needs this or that. In this way we can be very specific with people.
So
Gabriel, my question is about Ormus.
Wait. She's not done yet. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So would you recommend like a Norwalk, if you wanted to juice, would you recommend a Norwalk press as opposed to any other juice?
The Norwalk press is the best. That's basically what we use. We use a commercial Norwalk press. It's the best. It's the best.
And so that would not introduce free radicals because you're pressing?
Pretty much, not only doesn't do that, but the juice can last up to 3 days. So it's quite, wait. That's important. Did everybody hear that question?
No, can you repeat it, please?
It was Norwalk press. And that's what we use here. We use a giant commercial Norwalk press. That juice can be active for about 3 days. So it's quite a significantly better one. That's why we use it. The other thing about that people get confused between fasting, which is feasting on all the forces of nature, as we do it here, which is the earth, the water, the sun, and the air. That's the real feast. Is that when you go into fasting mode, you activate the vital life force. And the vital life force is what does all the healing. And that's the piece that gets missed when we do the juice feasting. Yes, you will lose weight. But that's the main thing. Yes, you will feel healthier, because anytime you lose weight and you have all these vegetables, you're going to get more alkaline. I mean, it all works. It's not like it doesn't work. We don't agree with any use of fruit juices, because that, in our experience, has, with years and years and years of experience, that really is too much sweet, and people can get hypoglycemia, or if they have a little bit of tendency to hypoglycemia, can get worse. Really get hypoglycemic and candida. So we don't really recommend fruit juices, but like a green juice feasting with superfood concentrates is a way where you can work and do what you're going to do. It doesn't necessarily activate the vital life force, which is the big healer in fasting. And that's the key thing. Okay, does that kind of complete that discussion somewhat?
I had a question regarding the Norwalk.
Yes.
To follow up. It comes with these bags that are made out of some sort of synthetic material, and they say that that it's safe. But do you know anything about the bags and their safety?
Well, yeah. Just to answer the question, we don't. What kind of bags do we use? Tim. This is Tim. He's a system manager at the cafe. Yeah.
It is. I think it might be. I'm not sure exactly what's made of, but it's a combination of natural material and probably something else that's. It has to be a very strong material, otherwise the bags will break.
Yeah, the
There's so much
bag.
pressure.
Yeah. So what we use here is maybe it'd be good to research that up. But what we use here is a combination of a natural fiber, and I think it'd be better if you can get natural fiber.
Would it be possible to follow up for those of us who have Norwalks, because I've actually stopped using mine because of the plastic bags or whatever that material is that they come with them. And I haven't found anything that will withstand the pressure effectively, or you can clean well enough afterwards.
I understand. Have you used cheesecloth, things like that, well-woven cheesecloth, or does that break?
Probably would break.
Cheesecloth is not nearly strong enough.
Okay. We need to do some research, and maybe our cafe can research that up and see. But even if it's synthetic, keep in mind this, that it's not being exposed very long to the synthetic. And you're getting a highly superior juice.
Okay.
I mean, it's highly superior. So the difference, see, unfortunately, life is not black and white. There's pros and there's cons. And what you're doing when you're pressing is you really are getting the least oxidized juice, the least amount of free radicals, and the juice that has the most amount of energy, and the juice that will last the longest. Those are really strong positives. You see what I mean? And the negative is, of course, you know, it's hard to get a natural material that can deal with the press without exploding. But the good news is you're only really exposed for you know, a short time. It's like a minute or two. So how much of the synthetic can let's say leach into that is the question. Probably zero or very close to that. So it's always, life isn't just as straightforward as we like it to be. So we can just think about it and make choices. But our choice, even though I think ours is a mixed thing, according to Tim, is really to go with the Norwalk because of the quality of the juice is so superior.
Gabriel, can you give us a good juice recipe?
Well, we don't use fruit. We like as a base celery or cucumber, and the celery and cucumber has anti-diabetic, it helps with the insulin production. So that's a really good base that we use. For the diabetics, we'll put string beans in, which is another great thing for the healing. Juicing string beans is one of the great supports to diabetes. And then whatever, and this is the key, freshly picked vegetables you can get, that's what you want. Why is that important? Because the truth is, after a few days, the vegetables have really lost their vital force significantly. So anything you can get as fresh is what you want, as your primary choice. And
Fresh more important than organic?
no, organic is, you know, people say, well, when you juice, the pesticides and herbicides are in the fiber, but Gabriel doesn't believe that. You know, I think organic is very important, and secondarily, and fresh is also very important. You want both. And what does that mean? It means either you grow your own, which is what we're trying to do with the tree. We're really trying to expand our garden system. Or you go to a farmer's market, and they're relatively fresh. When you go to a store, you've got to understand that that store has already imprinted the vegetables. No, they don't even know what they're doing. So don't think they're doing this as some kind of plan, but it is what happens. And you have to use this special laser from Premier Research to unimprint it. And that's the key here.
Do you grow any of your vegetables using Ormus, and how would you be able to do that?